and we are actually celebrating the Guru Purnima Brahmotsavam, and July 3rd is the auspicious day of Guru Purnima, where we are offering our gratitude to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, to the entire lineage of the Gurus who keep these traditions alive, out of which each and every one of us are getting benefited. This Guru Purnima is going to be one of the very special events where we are going to have the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will also be delivering the presidential address, addressing each and every one of us and blessing us to live the ultimate life. So coming back, we have the Mahaparameshivoham program that is happening, and today the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is gracing all of us as the Gangadhara Murti, where Parameshiva himself, out of his grace and love for the devotees, from the devotion of the devotees, releases Ganga from his jata and makes Ganga flow into the level, the transmission between the higher states to the state that we can experience. Parameshiva becomes the very transformer to make Devi Ganga happen in each and every one of our life. So I request each and every one of the participants and viewers who are watching us live from around the world, take this time to go over and to invite your friends, your family, and everyone whom you know for the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You can be benefited from the two-way video conferencing, where not only that you can get to have the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's direct gaze falls on you and you experience the direct divine blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So the link for the Mahaparameshivoham is projected on the scroll below. It is parameshivoham.org. Alternatively, you can also scan the QR code that is being projected, which will lead you to a straight sign up.
And it's very important for all of us to know and understand that all the gifts, all the whatever the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing in the Mahaparameshivoham program, all the great gifts of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, all the great initiations that he is giving, all of that is nothing but the result of the Guru Parampara, which he has been blessed with in his own life, to be directly trained and initiated by the best gurus who initiated him into the sciences of various sampradayas of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and especially when Paramashiva himself came in the form of Arunagiri Yogeshwara and initiated him into the science of oneness, the highest, the Paramadvaita experience. And that has become the ultimate transforming force, which is literally making the revival of Kailasa happen today. What is the most important point here to understand is that all of this was possible simply because of devotion. It is only because of surrender to the Guru Parampara, which Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism manifested from a very, very young age. Because of that surrender, simple devotion, obedience to the Guru Parampara, to all the gurus, all these best sciences were simply started manifesting into him, and all these sciences he is able to initiate all of us in.
True. And as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully reveals, Parameshiva comes down as the Guru due to the devotion that the devotees have. The happening of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where Parameshiva himself lands and accepts the devotion of all the devotees. Beautifully, Swamiji shares that the entire life, whenever an incarnation happens, the entire life itself is a Leela. Throughout his entire life, when we look at the dedication that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had towards his gurus and towards all of his masters who trained him towards the various different aspects and sampradayas, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully, by his very living, demonstrated that just that commitment to the Guru will awaken all the extraordinary possibilities and all the extraordinary powers in our life. It is that Leela that Swamiji manifested, that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism manifested, showing through all the gurus how he obediently, how he with utmost devotion towards his Guru was able to manifest, is manifesting everything towards manifesting the great Hindu nation, Kailasa. Similarly, when we have that devotion towards the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, towards our beloved Swamiji, anything and everything is possible in our life. Whether you are stuck with some kind of confusion in your life, whether you're stuck with some kind of obstacles and you're not sure how to break free from those, there are many times we want to do many things, but we are stuck at various different levels. The one-stop antidote that magically works, that works magic, not logic, magic, is devotion. It is through that pure devotion, just through the devotion towards the Guru, towards the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, every single obstacle just disappears. We have a lot more to share. I would like to share from my own very personal experience about how various miracles have manifested in my life. But before that, we're going to take a short break where each and every one of you are going to call your friends, your family, and your kith and kin to join the Mahaparameshvoham program so that you can experience the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So stay tuned. Let us catch up after a short break.
Program starts but never ends, and it is never the same again. It is actually not a program, it's a lifestyle initiation. It is just upgrading your consciousness, your being. Bring intense sincerity, sincere intensity into this program. Instead of sitting with your depressions, sit with me, Paramshiva. I welcome all of you to register by going to paramshivoham.org. And even if you have attended already any program, please go through once more intensely, sincerely, intensely, because it is going to be absolutely new and different level. I commit with you all. I will initiate all of you, bless you all with the Shakti Pada, Shakti Pada, and Paramshiva myself will manifest the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness and Kailasa of Paramshiva in all of us.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have makes sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. With me, sit with integrity and listen. And come along with me. I'll take you to Kailash now.
This Mahaparamshivoham is like literally the ultimate journey in a most safest way. The principal cognitions will be manifesting experientially. Each of the principal cognitions, the principal truths, the whole science of manifesting Paramashiva in you is presented as 4 major paths: Charya Pada, Kriya Pada, Yoga.
Nithyananda, everybody, welcome back. So we were looking at the devotion and how the devotion manifests as life, manifests as miracles and magic in our life. I hope each and every one of you took this opportunity to call your friends and family for the darshan that is going to be starting very soon. Yes, Brahmasukha Maharaj, you can go ahead.
Yes. So, as we have seen, the magic which the devotion does in our life, it manifests the best things. It's not just about, manifesting the health, wealth, relationships which happen, which start happening, start manifesting when our devotion starts manifesting. It can be devotion with respect towards our guru, it can be towards God. In any form, when the devotion starts flowering in our inner space, all the best things start happening in our life. All the best things, be it mundane things, be it just blissfully existing all the time, and especially higher truths start getting revealed in us. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also shares, to whatever you are devoted, you become that. In Vedanta and Siddhanta, there's a concept. We have Nyaya, which means the multi-dimensional logic, which is not the yes and no, and the binary logic that the current society is existing in. The multi-dimensional logic, which forms the core of the Hindu scriptures, the Hindu science, the Hindu methodology. In Nyaya, we have an example. A bee brings a worm, keeps a small home built for it, and by infusing its own energy, the bioenergy makes the worm into itself. So this example, literally, what it really signifies, what it means is how the supreme consciousness, Paramashiva, just because of the devotion of the devotee, descends on at the plane of the existence of the devotee and raises the devotee back, and it makes the devotee achieve oneness with Paramashiva. This multi-dimensional logic is not really easy to understand for the modern day society, because we have been brainwashed by the binary logic. But once we start delving more and more into the higher truths, powerful cognitions from Hinduism, from Vedas and Agamas, which the Pontiff of Hinduism shares in the Mahaparamashivoham program, all the initiations that he gives, all the best cognitions in all dimensions that he shares in the Mahaparamashivoham program, once our biomemory, our muscle memory starts incorporating all those great truths, the simple flowering of devotion starts happening. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also shares the best thing that can happen to you is feeling connection with the Master. It's over and top of all the gifts that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism showers. The best gift that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism can give to any individual is devotion towards him, is simple surrender and feeling connection towards the Master. It is simply that feeling connection that does the magic in our life, gives the best things in all respects.
True. And at the same time, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shares very beautifully, that it is devotion that is like the nectar, that is like the essence of life itself. When you experience that devotion in your life, you will see that your whole life takes a complete different step. Now, whatever we speak might feel like, okay, it sounds so different. It sounds, is it real kind of a thing, right? You can experience it. You can experience it. You don't have to trust. You don't have to believe, because it is an established science. Tomorrow, during the Mahaparamashivoham program, which starts at 6 a.m. ET and goes up to 10 p.m. ET, during this entire day, the entire day is designed where you are soaked into the powerful cognitions that are revealed in the Vedas and Agamas, where Paramashiva reveals in the Vedas and Agamas about devotion, and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally broken it down step by step and translated it into the language that we, in the modern language, in the modern civilization, in the modern era, can understand. So no matter who you might be, no matter what kind of a background you might have, if you would like to taste the sweetness of devotion, if you would like to experience that love, that unconditional love, that gratitude, that feeling of wow, that kind of a feeling, just go over and sign up to Mahaparamashivoham. You can sign up at paramashivoham.org, which will lead you to the sign up page, and ensure that you do not miss the session tomorrow, because the entire day tomorrow is going to be a devotion filled pack, where the moment you come in and after that you leave, you are completely a new being who is filled with devotion and the experience of devotion. So make sure that you're signing up for the Mahaparamashivoham. You can sign up for the Mahaparamashivoham in paramashivoham.org. We also have the QR code that is being projected, and you can sign up using scanning that QR code as well.
Moreover, the core, the very purpose of happening of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is the current living manifestation of Paramashiva himself, Supreme Consciousness himself, the very core purpose of his happening is to make people, make the modern day humans experience this devotion, this intense devotion, bhakti, back towards Paramashiva and raise them to oneness experience, which is the true purpose of their life. And for this purpose itself, he has created Kailasa, which is nothing but the basic infrastructure which is required to do this great mission, to make this mission into reality. So if you want to support this great mission of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, if you want to support the Kailasa nation, please sign up and become a member of the Patreon community of Kailasa. Kailasa is also now on Patreon. So you can sign up with the link patreon.com/Shri Nithyananda. The link is also being projected at the bottom of your screen. You can sign up, become a member, and become a co-contributor into this great mission of the revival of Kailasa, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing only and only for the sake of the devotees, their devotion. And he shares more and more these great secrets of what is devotion really and how to build our devotion. He shares one of the very important secrets, that what we are devoted to, we become that. If we are devoted to negativity, for example, if we are spending more and more time and energy in something negative, in the negative pursuits, we will naturally become that. We will naturally attract that kind of reality in our life. But if we choose to be devoted to the higher principles, the higher truths, especially be devoted to the master, if we are blessed to have master in our lives, simply that kind of a reality starts happening in our lives. The best reality starts happening in our lives.
True.
And he says the devotion, the feeling connection is something extraordinary. It is the great power of the being. Your devotion to Paramashiva literally becomes a power, protecting you and manifesting Paramashiva in you. So
Yes.
devotion is also not just a catalyst, but it acts as a shield which protects you at each and every moment of your life.
Yes. And there is something that I would like to share here from my personal experience. For me, when I connect with Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is the incarnation of Paramashiva, it is out of a simple love. And I would say it is just simple attachment and simple love to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And whenever I feel like just experiencing that love, right, it is just that I have to remember him in my inner space, and immediately life starts manifesting the way that I want. It's like instant that happens, especially when we do the power manifestation. Like all the viewers and participants, you might have seen that we've been having the continuous power manifestation sessions that are happening, where you get an opportunity to actually ask your questions to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where you get to ask your questions to experiencing Paramashiva in your life, how Paramashiva can contribute in our life. So, as you may be seeing those sessions happening, I'll tell you the root of it. Being a power manifester myself, being initiated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to manifest these extraordinary Shaktis, the science or the key, or I would say the insider secret, is simple. It is just simple love and attachment to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. That's a dimension of devotion. So like this, it is a very beautiful space that we can experience in our life. When you explore these dimensions of devotion, an entire new world opens up. Now, we're going to be sharing a lot more things like this, and we're going to be revealing furthermore secrets that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed from the Vedas and Agamas. Especially today, we're all preparing to have the Darshan of Gangadhara Murty and Ganga Visarjana Murty, where Gangadhara Murty is the form where Paramashiva in Kailasa exists, and Ganga Visarjana Murty is the one who manifested on the Bhumandala out of the devotion of the devotees. Paramashiva himself lands in Maha Kailasa. Paramashiva reveals, Paramashiva receives Devi Ganga on his head as Gangadhara Murti, and in the Bhumandala, he releases Ganga for the use of the entire world, for the benefit of the entire world, as the Ganga Visarjana Murti. So today, we are going to be having the live darshan of Gangadhara Murti in Maha Kailasa and manifesting as Ganga Visarjana Murti in the Bhumandala, where each and every one of us can experience. So don't miss this opportunity. Make sure you're calling your friends and your family and you also join. You can register yourself to experience the live darshan in parameshivoham.org, where you can enter and experience today's program. So please go over to that link and sign up. We're going to come back together after a short break while you register for the program.
The whole Hinduism is founded on these 4 words. Holding the cognition you are the ultimate Paramashiva and making that as your lifestyle, manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, everything of Paramashiva in your day-to-day life, learning it, manifesting it, living it, you will be having the space in the shoulder, and from sitting on the shoulders of Paramashiva, Guru himself, traveling to Mahakailasa and experiencing Paramashiva in ultimate, blissful, safest, bestest way. Program starts but never ends, and it is never the same again. It is actually not a program, it's a lifestyle initiation. It is just upgrading your consciousness, your being. Bring intense sincerity, sincere intensity into this program. Instead of sitting with your depressions, sit with me, Paramashiva. I welcome all of you to register by going to parameshivoham.org. And even if you have attended already any program, please go through once more intensely, sincerely, intensely, because it is going to be absolutely new and different level. I commit with you all. I will initiate all of you, bless you all with the Shakti Pada, Shakti Nipada, and Paramashiva myself will manifest the state, space, powers, being, super consciousness and Kailasa of Paramashiva in all of us.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference
Nithyanandam, everybody, welcome back. So, as we are all preparing to receive the darshan of the Gangadhara Murti and manifesting as Ganga Visarjana Murti in the plane that we exist, as we are preparing for that, let us also learn to be in that space of devotion, especially the powerful cognitions that Gangadhara Murti and Ganga Visarjana Murti, they embody is the power of superdeterminism and will persistence, as Devi Ganga manifests through the entire planet through the will persistence and breaks free from any obstacle that is there. Today we are going to be having that darshan where Parameshiva manifests as Gangadhara Murti and Ganga Visarjana Murti. So make sure that you register for the Mahaparameshivam program. You can sign up for the Mahaparameshivam program by registering at parameshivoham.org. At the same time, if you have any doubts or questions, please feel free to ask your questions in the chat, in the Nithyananda TV, in Facebook, YouTube, and other social media platforms, and we shall respond to you.
So as we have discussed about the importance of devotion, about the best gifts that the devotion brings in our life, it is also important for us to understand how to relate with the Guru. Now, when the Guru has manifested in our life, we have been blessed with the Guru. How to start relating? What is the best way to inculcate bhakti, devotion? Because everyone needs a manual. We don't really know how to relate with the Guru because he's beyond our logic. We cannot really comprehend him. So, what is the way? Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives us the key and the way to do it. It is too easy to give your own reasons for the happening of the Guru. You can build up your own ideas, your own cognitions for whatever the Guru says, whatever he does. Because whenever we are the way we are manifesting, we are already in illusion. We are in a dream state. And the Guru is happening in our life. He is entering into our dream state to take us back, to wake us up, again, take us back into that superconscious state of Turyatita. So naturally, whatever we cognize about the happening of the master, whatever his actions, each and everything, we are being fooled by our own delusion. So the best way to relate with Guru is not by making up our own illusory ideas and cognitions of right and wrong about what the Guru does or says. It is simply by surrendering to him, simple devotion, simple attachment and love and obedience. Simply what the Guru says, I will do. That's it. End of story. That is the key of devotion, how to start building the relationship, the Guru-disciple relationship, which is the best relationship that you can ever experience in your life. And that is how the existence of Guru really starts bringing magic in your life.
Yes.
Ramakrishna, very powerful saint, Hindu saint, he says, when I point at the moon, see the moon, don't try to bite my finger. People who see me try to judge by my actions. They say, maybe he's trying to do this, maybe he's planning to do that. Raise yourself to the ultimate, the power of consciousness, Paramshiva, again and again, and move towards that direction instead of wasting your time and energy in enjoying the possibility by your own faulty logic.
Yes.
So simple
Actually,
devotion
here
is
I
the
wanted
key.
to add another
Yes.
point is that many times in our life, like whatever you might be struggling with, sometimes it would be like, oh, I'm struggling with addiction towards something, or I am not able to break out of a pattern, or I'm not able to do a certain thing. Many times, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, our beloved Swamiji, shares very, very powerful yet very, very simple solutions that you cannot logically comprehend whether this is right, this is wrong, how will this solve the problem that I have. Sometimes it would be like, okay, I want to manifest wealth in my life, I want to manifest health in my life, and it would be something completely unrelated, the solution that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives, that Swamiji gives. But when you just have the simple obedience and simple love for the master and devotion towards the master, and you just execute, you just do what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, what Swamiji says, you will see it just makes that magic happen. Things just happen by itself. And that is the power of devotion. That is the power of devotion, where life itself takes a very sweet journey, because you do not have to worry about what is right, what is wrong, should I do this, should I do that. No, everything is beautifully guided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, where I personally feel so blessed. Like, one of the points, if I have to look back in my life and I have to say that yes, I am so blessed about something, is this, where I know that I do not have to make any choices in my life. I just have to have the simple obedience to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, to beloved Swamiji, and he takes care of everything that is the best for me. So that, I would say, is the biggest freedom that I have in my life. And for you to experience, every one of you can experience that freedom in your life, and that you will experience just through that simple love and devotion, through the feeling connection towards the master, towards the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
And also the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism makes it he stresses upon this point again and again, especially when you are clouded by a lot of doubts, and when there's a cyclone of doubts, and self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial, this whole thing is going on inside your inner space. That is actually the best time to practice devotion, to practice bhakti. It means simply by obeying the master, by obeying the Guru Vak, not by bringing your own logic, because your own logic, your own ideas will only create more and more. It will create like a wedge in the flow of existence, in the flow with what the master, the flow of energy that the master is gushing inside us. It will just block that whole thing. And the best way to really make what the master wants, make it happen, is to simply practice devotion, to simply listen and execute what the master is saying. So that's how this whole science of devotion, so to speak, is really practiced in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is now reviving. He says, if you just keep your devotion, your bhakti alive, if you protect your bhakti will protect you. That's what he means by whole cyclone of doubts. At that time, when you actually are devoted and you strengthen and consciously declare that I am integrated to you, so whatever you say, I will execute that. That is what really protects us in that crisis. And he shares from his own experience, as he has been a victim of a lot of persecution, a lot of attacks, right, from all kinds of anti-Hindu forces. He says, in this whole cloud of attacks and everything, what he did, the decision he took was simply that he will be integrated to Paramshiva. He will just be devoted to Paramshiva, and Paramshiva protected him in all whatever attacks he has seen, he has personally experienced. Kalabhairava himself, Paramshiva himself has protected him. Why?
Yes.
Because of that simple devotion that he has continued to carry in his heart.
And this is something that each and every one of us can look at. The amount of persecution that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has gone through, yet every single step that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has taken is a breakthrough from every previous problem or a previous persecution that was done. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully shares that the secret behind this is his love, his bhakti towards Paramshiva, towards Arunagiri Yogeshwara, his commitment, his unwavering devotion to Paramshiva, that I will not question Paramshiva for anything. I will stay integrated, I will be integrated, I will have my feeling connection towards Paramshiva no matter what. When the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism living demonstrates these, none of our problems are anything bigger at all, can never be ever bigger than the persecution that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has gone through. Through his very life, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is teaching this science of devotion to every one of us. No matter what kind of problem or crisis that we may be in, just protecting and having the devotion to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will just pull you out of any kind of confusion, any kind of problem, any kind of mess that you are feeling that you are stuck in your life at this point in time. Because it is through his very life that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has shown this as the living example to each and every one of us. So make sure that you are logging in for the Mahaparameshvoham program tomorrow, where all these secrets of how to experience that love, how to experience bhakti in your life is going to be taught. And today, we are going to be having the Darshan of Ashwarudha Murty, where Paramshiva manifests in Mahakailasa, where he brings down Devi, Ganga from his head, from his jatas, to the world as Ganga Visarjana Murti in the Bhumandala, where each and every one of us can experience Mata Ganga in our day-to-day life and be benefited from the happening of Ganga. So the darshan is going to be starting in a very few minutes from now. So I request all the participants, all the viewers who are sitting with us live from around the world, register yourself into parameshvoham.org. That will lead you to experiencing the two-way video conferencing, where you can not only have the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, but also get an opportunity to ask your questions during the darshan to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is directly blessing each and every one of the devotees. So you have this very, very special opportunity. So join and invite your friends and family for the same. Please take a few minutes to do that. We shall come back together after a short break.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have make sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms telescope and microscope together is penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the paradise is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailash now.
So many times you may have some desire, some guilt, some pain for which you are not able to find solution. And now the best chance or the best way to get the solution is from Master. Master is here. Don't miss the chance. We are going to work on each major layers. We are going to work on desire, guilt, depression, fear, and every major things, not only practically, esoterically. It is not even actually technique, because they are so esoteric, so deep. The whole course is designed just for the total transformation.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have makes sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the paradise is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailash now.
So many times you may have
Truths, the whole science of manifestation.
Nithyanam, everybody, welcome back. I hope that each and every one of you took your opportunity and your time to call your friends and family to receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, manifesting Paramshiva as Gangadhara Murty and Ganga Visarjana Murty. We're going to be having the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beginning in just a very few moments from now. So request all the participants, while we are preparing ourselves to receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, please make sure that you're also reaching out to continuously all your friends and family to join in. We have the Mahaparameshivoham program happening, as part of which we are having the darshan today. And register yourself to have the two-way video conferencing, where not only that you can experience Bhagavan Paramshiva manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism through the darshan on the one-way platforms, which is the Nithyananda TV, the YouTube or Facebook, but also have the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Paramshiva himself, having the Diksha, giving you the Diksha, the Dhyana Diksha happening. So don't miss this opportunity and make sure you register.
As we have been preparing ourselves to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is going to give us darshan today in the form of Gangadhara Murty and Ganga Visarjana Murty. Naturally, the curious question arises, what is this really about? How is the story of Ganga, of the manifestation of Ganga, how is it relevant to me in particular? How is it going to benefit my life? One very important cognition, the most powerful cognition which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiates us to this darshan going to be is that of will persistence. Because it was only and only through the will persistence of Bhagirath who made the whole happening of Ganga happen, who made Devi Ganga manifest first from the Swargaloka. She came down and started to manifest on the Bhuloka, but since her force, she started gushing with so much of force, so much of intensity. Nobody on the Bhuloka, nobody on the planet Earth was able to hold that intensity. Only Paramshiva himself, he came and he stood and he held Mother Ganga, Devi Ganga in his jatas. And that is the form of the Gangadhara Murti that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to manifest for us today and give us the darshan in. And then from that holding of Mother Ganga, through holding that intensity, then he releases Devi Ganga as the Mother Ganga, the river, as we see today on the planet Earth, with a controlled force, controlled intensity. That is the Ganga Visarjana Murti, that form, Paramashiva, which he manifested, that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to give us the darshan. But all of this happened how? Only and only because of the will persistence of one person, one being, that was Bhagiratha. And because of this will persistence, this great feat was achieved. And the same will persistence, when this powerful cognition gets awakened in us, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism awakens this powerful cognition in us, it simply manifests as the power to literally manifest anything in our life and to cross over and to go beyond any obstacle that can come in us. Throughout our life, we can surpass and we can cross each and every obstacle and become a winner and achieve whatever we want to achieve for life.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also beautifully reveals and shares that when Devi Ganga manifested, when Paramashiva held Devi Ganga on his jata, and when he released Devi Ganga in the plane that us as human beings can experience, that time Devi Ganga manifested by doing the Abhishekam through the entire form of Paramashiva, and then along with Paramashiva's grace manifested in the Bhuloka for each and every one of us to experience. So today we have this opportunity where we experience and where we are going to have the blessings of Gangadhara Murti and Ganga Visarjana Murti, where we are going to be having the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself embody this great manifestations of Paramashiva and blessing us with this boon of will persistence and super determinism. So make sure that you're signing in and you're logging in for the darshan. The darshan is going to be starting very soon, and make sure that you're not missing to reach out to your friends, your family, to every one of your neighbors and everyone that you know to attend the darshan today. And tomorrow, we're going to be having the entire season, the entire day in the Mahaparamashivam about bhakti and how the various aspects of bhakti, how it takes you from a space of feeling unjust in your life, of feeling life is not possible for you, life is hopeless, life is unjust, whatever negative ideas that you have making you feel violated, how bhakti towards the master, towards the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism can just clean slate, erase every of the problems that you have and be a one-stop solution for you. So make sure that you register for the Mahaparamashivam program at paramashivaham.org. The QR link is also continuously being shared and being scrolled for all of us. And one more important thing that I would like to share with all the viewers and audience who are sitting with us is that during the darshan that's going to start in just a few moments from now, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is answering each and every one of the devotees, each and every one of your questions that you put in the Zoom chat, in the chat where the two-way video conferencing is happening. If you would like to benefit out of this, just go over to paramashivaham.org and register yourself for the Mahaparamashivaham program, where you can ask your questions and you can ask the boons that you want whatever blessings that you want to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and be blessed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So do not miss this life. Do not miss this opportunity to have the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Just register yourself for Mahaparameshivoham at parameshivoham.org and you will see the miracles start manifesting in your life.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism puts it very clearly and very succinctly, he puts it, that there are basically just two forces which are operating all the times in our being. First is the gravitational force, which always pulls us down. So whenever we are involved more and more with the negative thoughts, the toxic mental setup, for example, even Sundareshwar Maharaj just put it, for example, always feeling violated, cherishing victimhood, all these negative thought currents always try to bring us down. They keep us in a lower frequency all the time, makes us more gross in our existence. But there is also another force, that is of levitation, which pulls us always up and up and up towards more and more subtle frequencies, ultimately leading to our liberation and making us experience that we are consciousness. So what is the most powerful tool, people would ask, to turn our whole existence, our whole experience of life towards this levitation force, becoming more and more subtle and experiencing consciousness? That most powerful tool is devotion, it is bhakti. So when we cherish bhakti more and more in our life, it raises our consciousness, it makes us experience higher truths and feeling connection with the master, with God more and more, and gives us the best experiences, the best gifts in our life. And even when we talk about the higher cognitions, the powerful cognitions, for example, of will persistence, of super determinism, naturally the question would arise, is there a simple way and the most very powerful way in which I can just get all of these downloaded into my system and simply start manifesting it? Yes, the answer is simple devotion and surrender. When you surrender to master, when you surrender to of Hinduism, all his cognition, all his powerful cognition, his experiences, initiations start getting downloaded into you without you even knowing it, and you will simply start manifesting best life possible. He will give you whatever you want, and even those things that you want that you don't know you ever wanted, the best experiences in your life will be simply manifesting by devotion, by cherishing bhakti. He says you have to protect your bhakti towards your guru. It is the most important asset in your life. It is your decision and your responsibility to protect your bhakti. When you protect your bhakti, bhakti protects you back. Dharmo rakshiti rakshitaha. That is the statement given even in the Vedas and Agamas. When you protect dharma, dharma protects you. And the highest dharma is devotion towards your guru, is following and obeying the guru vak. That is the highest dharma that can be possible for any being. So when you manifest that, when you protect your bhakti towards your master, towards your guru, the bhakti, the master, the guru protects you at each every walk of life and makes you manifest the best thing. And that's what we are experiencing in the Mahaparameshivam program. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving his darshan, making people experience his space, his state, his powers, everything, simply by them surrendering, by them devoting their being, surrendering their being at his. And if you want to have that similar experience, you can sign up for Mahaparameshivam program. The darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to start just in a few minutes, and you can call all your loved ones, everyone, whoever you know, and let them also experience this great gift, because Paramashiva himself is making him available for the entire humanity, easily available and free of cost. Anyone can come, join, have his darshan, and also ask for anything you want, any boons you want, or any problems you have, which you want to be solved. Anything you ask, he want and solve your problems, and he will take care of you after that. He will make sure that you are guided, you are protected, and you manifest whatever you want to manifest. That is the great boon that we are talking about, that is available to all of us. So don't miss a chance. Just sign up for the Mahaparameshivam program. The link is being projected. The QR code is also being projected. You can simply sign up. Go to the link parameshivoham.org or scan the QR code and fill up the form. You will be guided into the two-way video conferencing, the Zoom room, and you can have his darshan, enjoy his darshan.
Yes. So as we prepare ourselves, once again, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind all the viewers who are there, go over to your friends, your family, reach out to each and every one of them and ask them to join for today's program, because we're going to be having the darshan starting in just a few moments from now. So please take this opportunity, please take this chance to quickly call each and every one of your friends, your family, and register into the Mahaparameshivoham program at parameshivoham.org, as that is the way where you can experience darshan, where you can experience the miracle happening. So let us all please take a few moments. Please sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Ensure that you're reaching out to all your near and dear ones, your friends and family, your loved ones, as we prepare to receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Please sit straight. Just decide to experience, to welcome the happening of Gangadhara Murty and Ganga Visarjana Murty on this auspicious day as part of the Guru Purnima celebrations and the Mahaparameshivoham program. This is the time when we offer our love, our gratitude to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who manifested just out of the love that he has for each and every one of us. So let's now enter into the meditation. Please sit straight and chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramshivam.
Nithyananda Paramshivam. Om Nithyananda Paramshivam. Om Nithyananda Paramshivam. Om Nithyananda Paramshivam. Om Nithyananda Paramshivam. Om
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
மண்ணே மாமலையே மணியே மாணிக்கமே மரகதமே வைரமே
Gangadhara Murty. This is the manifestation where Paramashiva receives Ganga from Satyaloka in his jata. Ganga Visarjana Murty. This is the form through which he releases Ganga to Bhuloka in a very protected way. If the Ganga comes with all her power, the planet Earth will not be able to sustain it. Same way, if the Ganga is not there in the planet Earth, it will dry up, it will go without water. So Paramashiva does the job of transformer. He receives it and gives to the level which is needed.
பூசி உடுக்கை தனையேந்தும் காலனே குடி தோலனே உள்ள முறைகின்ற மதுரை மாநகரின் ராசனே இன்னல் கலை கலைந்து இன்பங்களை அளிக்கும் சுந்தர வடமணி நேசனே ஞாயிறு திங்கள் நித்த முறைகின்ற செவ்விழி கொண்ட செல்வனே சொற்களே எந்த சோமனே ஐயா சோதி வடிவான ரூபனே பரிமொழி காணா அண்ணாமலையே அகிலமும் போற்றிடும் ஐயனே நால்வர் போற்றிட நயமுடனாடிடும் நாதனே ஆழகாலம் உண்டு ஆழம் காடுதடில் ஆனந்த நடமிடும் ஆதி செய்வனே மங்கையிடம் கொண்டு கங்கை முடி கொண்டு நர்த்தனம் புரியும் ஈசனே சுடலை மொழி பூசி முடுகைகளை ஏந்தும் காலனே புலி தோலனே நீரின் விழிகால் உள்ள முறைகின்ற மதுரை மாநகரின் ராசனே இன்னல்களை கலைந்து இன்பங்களை அளிக்கும் சுந்தர வடமணி நேசனே निवासने ईशने सर्वेशने परमेशने जगदीशने नित्यने आनन्दने एन् जीवने गुरुसेवने नित्यने आनन्दने एन् जीवने गुरुसेवने नित्यने आनन्दने एन् जीवने
सुख सार हरे जय कैलाशी जय अविनाशी सुख राशि सुख सार हरे जय शशि शेखर जय डमरूधर जय जय प्रेमागार हरे जय शशि शेखर जय डमरूधर जय जय प्रेमागार हरे जय त्रिपुरारी जय मदहारी अमित अनंत अपार हरे जय त्रिपुरारी जय मदहारी अमित अनंत अपार हरे निर्गुण जय जय सगुण नामय निराकार साकार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्या पाहि पाहि दातार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्या पाहि पाहि दातार हरे हर हर नित्य देव 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 हरे नित्य रामेश्वर नित्य नागेश्वर वैद्यनाथ केदार हरे नित्य रामेश्वर नित्य नागेश्वर वैद्यनाथ केदार हरे मल्लिकार्जुन सोमनाथ नित्य महाकाल ओंकार हरे मल्लिकार्जुन सोमनाथ नित्य महाकाल ओंकार हरे त्रयंबकेश्वर नित्य घुष्मेश्वर भीमेश्वर जगतार हरे त्रयंबकेश्वर नित्य घुष्मेश्वर भीमेश्वर जगतार हरे काशीपति श्री विश्वनाथ जय मंगलमय अघहार हरे काशीपति श्री विश्वनाथ जय मंगलमय अघहार हरे नीलकंठ जय भूतनाथ नित्य मृत्युंजय अविकार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे हर हर नित्य देव 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 हरे नित्य महेश जय नित्य भवेश जय आदि देव नित्यानंद विभो नित्य महेश जय नित्य भवेश जय आदि देव नित्यानंद विभो किस मुख से है गुणतीत प्रभु तव अपार गुण वर्णन हो किस मुख से है गुणतीत प्रभु तव अपार गुण वर्णन हो नित्य भव कारक तारक हारक पातक दारक नित्य शंभो नित्य भव कारक तारक हारक पातक दारक नित्य शंभो दीन दुख हर सर्व सुखावर प्रेम सुधाधर दया करो दीन दुख हर सर्व सुखावर प्रेम सुधाधर दया करो पार लगा दो भव सागर से बनकर करुणागार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे हर हर नित्य देव 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 हरे जय मन भावन जय अति पावन शोक नशावन नित्य शंभो जय मन भावन जय अति पावन शोक नशावन नित्य शंभो विपद विदारण अदम उदारण सत्य सनातन नित्य शंभो
Celebrations of the Guru Purnima Brahmotsavam, which celebrates the happening of our beloved Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramshivam, the ultimate manifestation of Paramashiva in our lives as our Guru or Master. Guru Purnima Brahmotsavam is being celebrated all over Kailasa, all around the world in all of the Kailasa's temples and Sarvajna Pitas. On the 5th day celebrations of the Guru Purnima Brahmotsavam, we celebrate the revival of the Ashwarudha Sampradaya of Sanatana Hindu Dharma by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Ashwarudha is one of the most mystical alchemy sciences in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which has the ability to give instant enlightenment to a seeker without the need of any practice. This is done through a special technique where powerful, enlightened thought currents pertaining to specific enlightened truths are programmed into herbs, which are then consumed by the seeker. Subramanya Swami is the chief deity of the Ashwarudha Sampradaya. We worship today Subramanya Swami. Along with him, we worship and revere Sri Narayana Swami Tata, who has initiated Swamiji into the science of Nirahara Samyama, and Ashwarudha, that is the science of programming herbs with superconscious energy to impact healing and yogic shaktis to people. As the Guru of the Ashwarudha Sampradaya, we worship Narayana Swami Tata, and the Utsava Vigraha of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is gracing as the reviver of the Ashwarudha Sampradaya. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself has spiritual alchemy products, including the Vaidya Sarovar Linga, and many powerful Ashwadhas were presented to the world by him, reviving the Ashwarudha Sampradaya of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Let us now offer our devotion at the feet of Subramanya Swami, Sri Narayana Swami Tata, and the Utsava Vigraha, and to our beloved Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramshivam, on this 5th day celebrations of Guru Purnima Brahmotsavam, and seek their grace and blessings.
सहस्रदलपङ्कजे सकलशीतरश्मिप्रभम् वराहरकराम्बुजम् विमलगन्धपुष्पाम्बरम् प्रसन्नवदनेक्षणम् सकलदेवतारूपिणम् स्मरेत् शिरसि हंसकम् ततविमानपूर्वम् गुरुम् अतधूपः ॐ दशाङ्गम् गुग्गुलो वेदम् सुगन्धम् च सुमनोहरम् आग्रेय सर्वदेवानाम् धूपोऽयम् प्रतिगृह्यताम् श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः धूपम् आग्रापयामि अथ दीपः ॐ साध्यम् त्रिवर्ति संयुक्तम् वह्निना योजितम् मया ग्रहाणमङ्गलम् द्वीपम् त्रैलोक्यतिमिरावहम् श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः दीपम् सन्दर्शयामि अथ नैवेद्यम् ॐ अमृते अमृतोद्भवे अमृतवर्षिणि अमृतम् श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः अमृतमहानैवेद्यम् निवेदयामि नैवेद्यानन्तरमाचमनम् समर्पयामि नीराजनम् ॐ हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात् ॐ हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात् ॐ हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात् श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः कर्पूर नीराजनम् सन्दर्शयामि
रक्षान् धारयामि शोणाद्रीशावताराय ज्योतिस्तम्भस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रदाताय नित्यानन्देश्वररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् मूलप्रकृतिरूपाय परमशिवशक्तिस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् दण्डत्रिशूलहस्ताय कालकालस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् आदिपूज्याय देवाय सकृत्पूर्णत्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् सर्वाभयविनाशकाय शत्रुसंहाररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् योगपट्टाभिषिक्ताय राजसन्न्यासधारिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् सार्वभौमैकवत्याय राजराजार्चिताय च श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलम् कल्पवृक्षाय मङ्गलम् ज्ञानदायिने परमशिवाय श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वराय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलम् श्रीविद्याम्बायै मङ्गलम् कामदायिन्यै सर्वमङ्गलदात्री नित्यानन्देश्वर्यै मङ्गलम् मङ्गलम् गुरुदेवाय मोक्षमूलाय मङ्गलम् परमावताराय नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे मङ्गलम् त्वम् स्मृतमाम् धन्य मम प्राणमहेश्वर गङ्गाधर नामेति स्तोत्रस्थानम् ददामि